everyone. Thanks for joining us. We're glad you're here. In 2023, we made a video about how to camp in Land Between the Lakes, but a few things have changed in the last couple years, so we thought it was time for an update. So in this video, we'll go over the types of camping in LBL, including some options we didn't cover before. We'll talk about the costs and rules and what has changed, and of course, we'll share videos showing what they look like. In case you're new to LBL, it's a 170,000 acre national forest and recreation area that sits in western Kentucky and extends down into Tennessee. It used to be called the Land Between the Rivers due to the Tennessee River on one side and the Cumberland River on the other, but both have been dammed, creating Kentucky Lake and Lake Barkley. Land Between the Lakes is easily accessible from many states, and one of the things we think make it special is the sheer number of camping opportunities and different types of camping you can do here. There are so many ways to camp in LBL that it can get a little confusing. So we'll explain the different types of camping, show some examples of each one, and show you where to find information on Land Between the Lakes website. Land Between the Lakes categorizes their camping in 4 different ways: developed campgrounds, self-service campgrounds, basic campgrounds and camping areas, and dispersed camping. You'll also see the term backcountry used in a few different ways, which we'll explain as well. Okay, let's start with developed. We've had a little bit more experience with developed campgrounds since our first video. Developed campgrounds are larger campgrounds with all the amenities, and sites can be reserved ahead of time. There are 4 developed campgrounds in LBL: Piney Campground, Hillman Ferry, Wrangler's Campground, and Energy Lake. But one of you all turned us on to the Canal Campground, which is on the north end of LBL, just across the canal. Wrangler's and Energy Lake are both on the east side of LBL. We've stayed in both of those, and Piney and Hillman Ferry are on the west side. All of the developed campgrounds offer several types of campsites as well as cabins that can be rented. Wrangler's is the horse camp, and it's the only one that is open year-round.
We're in Land Between the Lakes, and we're staying at the Wrangler's Campground. They have the horse stalls because this is a horseman's camp, but anybody is allowed to camp here.
Wrangler's has 198 campsites and 12 cabins. Wrangler's has an outpost, a camp store, that's open year-round except for February. Horse stalls can be rented as well. There is a riding stable that is open seasonally and sometimes offers guided trail rides. We also saw buildings for a farrier and a blacksmith. Wrangler's offers basic campsites, electric, both 30 and 50, 30 amp electric with water and sewer. Prices are the same across all 4 campgrounds in LBL and range anywhere from $16 for basic to $42 for full service. Wrangler's also offers cabins that sleep 4 for $50 and that sleep 8 for $75. And these are the rates, of course, for 2025.
We got time on our side. When I stayed home, I need you on my fire. I want you to know that every time you're away.
Energy Lake is the other developed campground that we've stayed at, and we've actually camped here and recently rented a cabin.
This is our setup for the next couple days. It is freezing outside.
Energy Lake is the smallest campground with only 35 sites and 13 cabins.
We're really roughing it this weekend.
Okay, so here are accommodations for the next couple days. Energy Lake is definitely much tighter than Wranglers to get into. There are some pretty steep hills and tight turns, but it's right on the water, and pretty much every campsite has a beautiful view. None of the cabins are right on the waterfront though, but there is a swimming beach and kayak and canoe rental. Hillman Ferry, Piney, and Energy Lake are all three open March 1st through November 30th. But we were able to rent a cabin in Energy Lake in January. Energy Lake only offers sites with 30 or 50 amp electric and cabins that sleep 8, but Piney and Hillman Ferry have everything, every type of campsite as well as cabins. Hillman Ferry and Piney each have 368 campsites, so they are huge. Hillman Ferry has 6 cabins that sleep 8, and Piney has 16 that sleep both 4 and 8. Both Piney and Hillman Ferry are situated on lakeside as well. Reservations for LBL's developed campgrounds can be made up to 6 months ahead of time. They have their own reservation system, which you access from LBL's website. There is a $6 online reservation fee. If you reserve by phone, though, it's a $10 fee. The other campground I mentioned, the Canal Campground, is not part of LBL's system. It's a Corps of Engineers federal campground, and you make reservations there on recreation.gov. Prices there are just a few dollars higher than LBL. LBL does have a seasonal camping program at Hillman's Ferry, Wranglers, and Piney that can last anywhere from 3 to 9 months. The next type of camping we'll talk about is self-service, which is a step down in amenities, but our favorite way to camp. LBL has 11 self-service campgrounds. Most of them are in desirable waterfront locations. Self-service campsites can't be reserved. They're on a first-come basis, and you pay right at the campground. You can pay the Iron Ranger, which is a metal tube where you deposit cash or check, but they've just launched a scan-to-pay system. You can scan a QR code at the campground with your phone and follow the instructions to pay. No more worries about having the right bills. Self-service campgrounds are smaller campgrounds, often more remote. Some are on paved roads, but many require driving down a gravel road. There are designated sites, often with gravel pads, picnic tables, fire rinks, sometimes lantern hooks. There are vault toilets, trash pickup, and usually boat ramps as well. Only 2 have access to drinking water, though, Cravens Bay and Fenton. Fenton is the only self-service campground with access to electric. Cravens Bay is the only self-service campground that has flush toilets. Cravens Bay and Taylor Bay are part of the seasonal camping program. So there are sites there that can be rented anywhere from a 3 to 9 month period. This is the Turkey Bay OHV area. There is self-service camping in here as well. Most of the self-service campgrounds are $10 per night, but only $5 if you have a senior or access pass. Turkey Bay and Cravens are each $12 per night. Fenton, though, is $22 because it offers electric. You may have noticed that some of the self-service campground signs said Backcountry. This can be a little confusing because if you look at their camping page, towards the bottom there is a section on basic and backcountry camping. And on the reservations page, there is a place for backcountry permits. Backcountry camping and permits are not the same as the self-service backcountry campgrounds. Purchasing a backcountry permit doesn't pay for camping at a self-service campground, even if that self-service campground has backcountry in its name. Self-service campgrounds with the name backcountry, to our understanding, are just a little bit more remote maybe than some of the other self-service campgrounds. We are not experts though, so if anybody knows something different, please feel free to share that. Backcountry camping and permits is what we often refer to as dispersed camping or camping while hiking or canoeing or kayaking. We have a couple videos specifically about self-service campgrounds if you'd like a little bit more of a tour of each one. The other two kinds of camping, backcountry/dispersed and basic, require the same permit. You can pay $10 for a 3-day permit or $50 for an annual permit. I had a hard time finding where to purchase the permit online at first. Again, from the main page, you can click reservations and permits, and it takes you back to the campground reservation page. Right up here at the top, though, if you click permits, that will take you to the permit page. You have to create an account or sign in with your account to purchase the permit. You can purchase one in person, though, on site at any of the developed campgrounds, the North or South Welcome Center, and the Golden Pond Visitor Center. That fee is per person, though, over the age of 17, not per group. Okay, so basic camping is maybe another step down, I guess you would say, from self-service. I guess that depends on your point of view. There is one basic campground, Twin Lakes, and really don't see a lot of difference between that and self-service campgrounds, except for the way that you pay. It's maybe a little bit less organized. There are still designated camping spots here. There is trash pickup, there is a vault toilet and a boat launch, but it's not quite as big and maybe not as organized as self-service campgrounds. So there's only one of those though. Otherwise, basic camping is just open fields, open mode areas. These areas are often near boat ramps. There will usually be a vault toilet. There usually isn't fire rings or picnic tables, although there may be man-made fire rings. There may be trash collection near the boat ramp, but no access to drinking water.
Members Bay. So here, basic camp, you can just camp anywhere. There was a fire ring right back there. There's a vault toilet. I see a couple fire rings over here in the grass.
You can camp in these basic areas year-round. Since they're nice open areas, this works really well if you have a few people that are wanting to get together and, kind of be all camped together in a circle or whatever. You can do that here. For larger groups, though, there is a group area called Colson Hollow that can be reserved. LBL has one basic campground and 4 basic camping areas.
I saw you walking the line, and the truth may come as a surprise.
The last type of camping is what we've always called dispersed, but LBL refers to as backcountry camping. This is anytime you are camping somewhere that is not marked on the map. So this would include vehicle camping at the end of a forest road, camping while you're backpacking the North-South Trail, or canoe camping along the shore somewhere. Dispersed camping offers no modern amenities. You have to be self-sufficient, but it does offer the peace and solitude and beauty of nature and a little spot of your own to enjoy. That being said, there are still some rules that need to be followed when dispersed camping. You can find a brochure with the full list of rules for camping of any sort from their main page by clicking Camping and then Camping Rules. When dispersed camping with a vehicle, you should have a copy of the MVUM, the Motor Vehicle Use Map, which lays out the designated roads, Forest Service roads, within the forest. When camping with a vehicle, your vehicle shouldn't be more than 50 yards away from a designated road. So you can't just go driving off into the middle of the forest, creating your own path. You can find a copy of the MVUM by clicking Visit and then Maps. On that Maps page, you can also find brochures about the North-South Trail and other hiking trails within LBL. We hope you found this information about camping in LBL helpful. If you did, be sure to like this video and consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
So much I can find my way.